Hi and welcome to the channel once again. I've just noticed actually my hair is getting quite unruly now. Through this lockdown, we seem to be having hair issues, and I know a number of people that are going through this. I need mine cut. This video, yes, it's something a little bit different. On my walks, I've noticed or have noticed a branch that had fallen off a tree, quite a substantial branch, and I thought to myself, can I do something with these branches that have fallen off, because they were quite thick. I have had this idea for some time of making wooden coasters, coasters being these things that you put your coffee cups and wine glasses on tables to stop them staining the table. So I've had this idea, and I have seen them. I have seen these things sold in certain places, and so because I've recently, with the lockdown, I've managed to buy quite a substantial amount of different types of tools for doing jobs. I have now the tools to do something like this. So you'll see, I went out and I cut a piece of this tree or a piece of this branch and brought it back, and you'll see what happens, and enjoy the video. So here we are on one of my walks, and I know where I'm going. I'm taking a walk out on my usual route, and I'm after this branch that's fallen down, and you won't be surprised to hear that actually I had already taken this video once before, but I'd managed to delete the video, so you won't see me cutting this branch, but I'm going to show you where the branch came from. So this is another day, obviously, and you can see the trees in the distance here. Most of them are oak trees, but the one that we are heading for is this field maple, I think it's called, field maple. You can see it here, coming up, laying down. It's been down for some time, and if you look here, this is the branch I've taken a chunk out of. So that's the piece. There, and I'd done that the previous day. So, and I may even go back at some point and take another bit off. So whilst I was there, I kind of had a little look around, and I sort of kind of climbed up a bit here because I wanted to have a look at the leaf from this, just to identify what it was. And this is, as far as I know, a field maple. So now I've got this piece of branch, I can now go back to my workshop and start cutting. And so here we are back in the workshop, or just outside, and I have the log that I've brought back on the compound saw. So ready to cut this log up as safely as I can. These saws are quite, or can be quite dangerous, and need to be handled with a certain amount of respect. You just need to take your time, and here I am, just evening up first the side of the log, just straightening it up so that we got a perfectly straight surface. And then, after checking the size of the cut that I want, I'm just lining the log up back again, and then making sure that the log's clamped down. The compound saw was just big enough to deal with this 3-inch log. Any bigger than this, and I would have struggled to be able to get that saw to come down. So it was exactly the right size for this job. So here I am cutting these discs off, or at least that's the first one to come off, and then I went and cut some more off. So a number of these discs at varying widths. I wasn't too sure really how thick to cut these, or indeed how thin, but this is just an experiment really, and I'm just going to really see how these perform. I think they need a bit of tidying up on the edges, a bit of sanding, and then I'm going to dip them in some Danish oil. So let me clean these up a little bit more with the sander, and then we'll start to dip these into some Danish oil. Okay, so what I've done here is I've poured some Danish oil into a container, an old milk container that I've cut in half, and I've let these, or I am letting these discs soak up this oil over a period of time. I think from what I've seen is that they've really got to be in this stuff for probably about a day, something like that. The idea is that, of course, once you cut these, the natural the natural resin inside the tree itself, or the branch, starts to evaporate out, and if you don't replace that, then they start to crack. And so what we're doing here is we're kind of replacing that, what you would call sap, I suppose, with this Danish oil. I've decided not to sand these down. They seem to be pretty smooth. The compound source seems to have given them quite a good surface. I may look at that again once these have been soaking for some time, and I've had another inspection. I've decided to keep the bark on the sides as well. I think it gives them quite a nice rustic look. So over the next 24 hours I will keep turning these around and making sure that they are soaking this Danish oil into themselves. Okay, let's come back to this a little bit later on then, when I've cleaned up. So here they are, out of the Danish oil and just drying off a bit now. Now I'll leave those overnight. They've had quite a soaking. They've changed colour a little bit, which is to be expected, and I'll inspect them in the morning and see if they need any more sanding down and tidying up. They're looking quite interesting. I'm pleased so far. So I did decide to sand these down after they'd soaked in the Danish oil overnight. I just felt that they just needed to be smoothed off a bit more, and I did this. I sanded each of these discs down, and then I actually varnished them as well with some external varnish. I put 3 coats of that on as well. So these are well encapsulated in both the Danish oil and the varnish, and that should keep them from, I guess, rotting if they're left outside. My intentions are to use them down at the bottom of the garden, so I wanted them to have some sort of protection. So here I am sanding them down. So just to wrap up and conclude this video, I've finished and I've made a number of these, probably about 6 of these, and on this side it's varnished. On that side you can see what it's like on that side, quite dull. I haven't done both sides, didn't really see the point of doing that, so I'm quite pleased with these. I think I probably could have made it a little bit smoother. You can on this side, and you can also see around the edge that actually this branch had some woodworm, so it's kind of in there on the wood, but it's not really an issue. I did wonder when I saw the little holes on the rim there how deep those would be, but I'm quite pleased with these. I see them in the shop sometimes, these little coasters made out of branches, so and I've made my own now, so that's great. Varying sizes, thicknesses, but yeah, they seem to work, and I think I'll be using these outside anyway. So that's it for now. So thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Bye.